The truth about amateur and pro wrestling. Before we start, subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Like, share, leave a comment below. Think about this wrestling video. With that being said, it's time to rumble. Amateur pro wrestler, I've been putting it out there. I've been asking people, what do they think? I even try to get an idea to make this sport even more exciting. Make it be realized of its potential and skills. I mean, come on now. When it comes to amateur and pro wrestling, you thought, those, I don't think those go together. No, it does go together. Because they're both wrestling. They're grappling moves that you be on the ground with and for to make sure your skills and abilities are shown in a square circle, which means wrestling ring or mat. Well, they're both the same because one, the square circle could be many things when it comes to wrestling. Yes, it can. I mean, come on. If you was to have Greco-Roman freestyle wrestlers in a ring, that's saying practically pro wrestling. Or if they have the skills on, it'd be amateur pro wrestling. I mean, really? Because one, those who have done Greco-Roman, or shall I call it NCAA wrestling, have made it to the biggest event of them all, known as WWE, like Mr. Kurt Angle himself, Mr. Gold Medalist. And Mr. Chad Gable, Master Gable of Hush Academy. I call it Hush Academy because you always want you to shut up. Sorry, Alpha Academy. And that's the whole point. Because, see, it's like saying that we can't combine these things. I mean, if you look at a Greco-Roman freestyle amateur wrestler, as the same way it get into a fighting position, that's like saying wrestling. Pro wrestling at its best. Now you like, again, what? I still don't get it. No, you're gonna get it. You just don't understand it. You just don't want to understand it. You know why you don't want to understand it? Because it's wrestling. It's like you square off for that belt to ring in that one good square circle of a mat with no ropes. Ropes or no ropes, either way, it's saying the same thing. Wrestling. Cause I can see how wrestling really works, you know? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. And then the whole grappling, the whole tie-up of grappling. Same thing. They grapple the same way. Amateur freestyle wrestling, pro wrestling. They grapple up, they tie and grapple up the same way. You like, okay, I'm trying to take you down. No, wait. Boom. All of a sudden, they've been taken down like there was no tomorrow. Are you hearing me on this? Do you get what I'm saying? Then the suplex. Many wrestlers can do it, unless where you learn it at. You could learn it through camp, or you could learn it through amateur pro wrestling. Amateur wrestling. Greco-Roman style, suplex toss wrestling. Do you feel me on this? That's like you ask yourself, can I get a date? Then a belly to belly body slam. Again, that says wrestling. Rather is Greco-Roman, freestyle wrestling, or pro wrestling. I mean, Greco-Roman says pro wrestling no matter what, because one, they're not, using no headgear. They got tights on, they got knee pads on, they got wrestling boots, plus the pin. The pin could be many things. But when it comes to the pin, and yes, I said it once and I'm going to say it again. The pin is all about the the points in Greco-Roman wrestling. But a win is a win based on how you do it in pro wrestling. But still is wrestling. When it was over, an official put the gold medal around his neck, then added a belt properly bringing with gold around his waist. This kind of belt the pro wrestlers Burrow used to idolize, where except this one was not written out in advance at any script. Which means what they were saying is, if you was to win the match and gain a belt in Greco-Roman freestyle wrestling, it's like you saying, hey, I'm already there as a pro wrestler. Pro wrestler wears a championship belt. An amateur freestyle wrestler wears a championship belt. Which means if you was to combine these two sports together, it would be Greco-Roman pro wrestling. Ooh, wow, I just came up with... Because that's what amateur pro wrestling is about. Greco-Roman pro wrestling. Am I right? Or am I wrong? But I know one thing I'm right about. And that is that if you was to combine Greco-Roman freestyle wrestling and pro wrestling, you will have amateur pro wrestling. With that being said, I'm your boy Chris Blackthorn Harris. When it comes to my wrestling style, I'm not just a powerhouse, I'm also a technician.